Christmas time is finally here, and so are a bunch of video games that showcase their holiday spirit with a bunch of Christmas related subjects to make the season feel more festive. Over the years, several video games have attempted to infuse the spirit of Christmas into their bytes and pixels. Today, I'll be going over 10 Christmas games that you might not know about. Some of the games look really great, other games just look really weird, and I wouldn't recommend giving a family member a Christmas video game gift unless you really hate that family member. Anyways, let's get started. Number 10. Christmas Nights into Dreams. Before I go into the Christmas version, I must give a brief description of the original game. Nights into Dreams' story follows the teenagers Elliot Edwards and Clarice Sinclair, who enter a strange world called Nightopia, where all dreams take place. The main plot of the game is the journey throughout the world to stop the evil ruler Wise Men from destroying Nightopia and consequently the real world. This game was released on July 5th, 1996 on the Sega Saturn and eventually ported to other consoles as well. Later on the same year, a free Christmas demo version of the same game was released in Japan in November and the US in December. The gameplay involves the story of Knights, Elliot, and Clarice trying to find the missing star from the Twin Seeds Christmas tree. What makes it different from the original game was the soundtrack. This game has Christmas music playing in the background. There are also a bunch of different Christmas related content that you can see while playing throughout the game. My favorite part about this game is that you can play the character Sonic, and this game was considered the first time seeing Sonic in the 3D world. Overall, this was a very nice game that Sega decided to do with their customers. I recommend checking it out when you get a chance. Number 9. Jazz Jackrabbit 2: The Christmas Chronicles. Before Jazz the Jackrabbit made his appearance in the Christmas edition, he first started off as a 1994 platform game. Developed and published by Epic Mega Games, it was released for MS-DOS based computers. The game follows the adventures of a green anthropomorphic rabbit named Jazz as he tries to rescue his kidnapped partner Eva Earlong from the evil turtle emperor Devon Shell. The game is known for its fast-paced gameplay, colorful graphics, and energetic catchy music. Just listen to it. Players control Jazz as he navigates through various levels, defeating enemies and collecting power-ups. The goal is to reach the end of each level, facing bosses along the way, and ultimately save Eva. Jazz Jackrabbit gained popularity for its engaging gameplay and became a beloved title in the platformer genre. This Christmas edition is an enhanced version of Holiday Hair 98, featuring Lori as a playable character. It was going to be released on November 25, 1999 for the PC across Europe. However, the publisher, Project 2 Interactive, went bankrupt before the release date. It was eventually released in Poland by LK Avalon. A limited European release followed shortly after. The game is basically a condensed version of Jazz Jackrabbit 2. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, going from point A to point B, finding weapons to take out enemies and exploring different hidden areas of the map. The game is pretty short, only having 3 levels. Overall, The Christmas Chronicles is a rare, fun game that I feel like anyone can enjoy. Number 8. Elf Bowling. This bizarre PC game from 1999 allows players to use elves as bowling pins, giving Santa the chance to show off his bowling skills. It's kind of a messed up bowling game. Santa's elves worked hard making toys in Santa's workshop, and in return, they've been used as bowling pins, screaming in terror, while the big bowling ball speeds down the lane heading straight towards them. Even one of Santa's reindeer watches to get some cheap entertainment. So yeah, if you enjoy Santa Claus abusing his elves in a bowling match, this might be the perfect game for you. Number 7. Days Before Christmas. Released in 1994 for the SNES and Sega Mega Drive, in this game, Santa Claus races to save Christmas from an evil mouse who has stolen the kids' presents and cursed them with a spell. Santa faces enemies such as giant rats, evil toys, and living snowmen, using magic powers to turn them all into harmless Christmas presents. Santa's magic can be used to open the Christmas presents scattered around the levels. These presents may contain enemies, power-ups, bells, elves, or bombs. Santa's energy level is represented by Santa hats, which represent how many hits he can take before losing a life. He can collect more hats to replenish lost energy. It showcases all the different enemies that Santa is up against. Developed by Norwegian company Funcom for the Mega Drive and published by Sunsoft in 1994 exclusively in Australia for whatever reason. The gameplay is alright. It can get kind of repetitive after a while, but honestly, the best part about the game is when Santa finds a cup of tea in the level, he quickly turns it to Devil Santa, or Anti-Claus. Honestly, this is kind of terrifying. Santa uses his giant sack to knock out his enemies, but it only happens for a short time, then he turns back into regular Santa. Overall, kind of weird but interesting game to play. Number 6. James Pond 2, Codename RoboCop. This aquatic agent has returned in his 1991 sequel, saving Santa's workshop from the antagonist, Dr. Maybe. If you don't know who James Pond is, well, he's simply just a walking fish that has to solve puzzles, defeat enemies, and collect objects in order to advance to the next stage. This game series was developed and published by the British video game developer Millennium Interactive and EA. The game is supposed to be a pun to the James Bond movie series and RoboCop from the movie RoboCop. There have been a total of 5 James Pond games and 1 cameo. The one I want to go over is the 1991 sequel. James Pond must navigate in the North Pole, blending platforming challenges with espionage. The game has some comparisons with Mario and Sonic, but stands out with its festive Christmas twist. The gameplay is interesting and straight to the point. There are a lot of cool looking backgrounds and level design. My favorite part is looking at the different creepy enemies throughout the level. James Pond was big in the early 90s, but then kinda disappeared. His last game he was in was a 2011 mobile game called James Pond and the Deathly Hallows. The title is a pun based on the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. The game didn't do too well with critics, and James Pond fell into a watery grave. Number 5. Christmas Lemmings. Here's a picture of a lemming, and here's a picture of a Christmas lemming. Christmas Lemmings is a special edition of the classic Lemmings game series, created by DMA Design, now known as Rockstar North. This edition features Christmas-themed levels and was released as a holiday treat for fans of the original Lemmings games. The core gameplay mechanics in Christmas Lemmings are the same as in the original Lemmings series. The goal is to guide a certain percentage of lemmings through each level to safety. However, in the Christmas Lemmings, the levels, graphics, and music are all themed around the holiday season. Number 4. Santa Claus Saves the Earth. Released for the PlayStation and Game Boy Advance in 2002, it followed Santa's quest to stop the evil fairy Nilum. This is a very weird game. There's a lot of strange enemies like cavemen and whatever that is. There's also random clown pictures scattered in the level. It just doesn't make any sense. The game looks like it was made in the 1990s, but it was released in 2002. I don't recommend checking out this game at all, just don't. Number 3. Metal Gear Solid Secret Santa. This is a Christmas-themed parody of the popular video game series Metal Gear Solid. It was created by Arthur Lee, and it was released as a freeware game for the PC. The game is known for its humor, clever references to the Metal Gear Solid series, and festive holiday theme. A quick overview of the game is that Solid Santa must navigate various Christmas-themed environments, avoid detection by enemies, and complete missions related to the holiday season. This game came out in 2006, and it was popular enough to get a sequel called Metal Gear Solid 2: The Ghost of Christmas Past. If you enjoy Metal Gear Solid games, then definitely check this game out. Number 2. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This 2010 Wii and Nintendo DS game was based on the 1964 television special. In this game, the players compete in 4 different minigames, with each game having its own motion controls. Each minigame has a time limit. Once the time limit is up, the minigame is finished. Up to 2 players can participate at a time. It's a family-friendly fun game to play if you have nothing better to do in your free time. But like I said, 4 minigames for a 2010 Wii game that doesn't give you that much playtime, and you'll quickly get bored of the game. My recommendation, just play something else. Number 1. Santa's Xmus Caper. There's multiple versions of Santa's Xmus Caper. The one I'll be going over is a 1992 game for the Commodore 64. This side-scroller shooter game involves Santa needing to collect presents while dodging random objects. With power-ups and a time limit, the game gets more challenging every level. This is a very unique game. I'm not sure if there's any other side-scroller Santa Claus game that involves shooting stuff from a sleigh. If you have any spare time, I'm sure you can find this game on the website or somewhere online and give it a try. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. See you next time, and thanks for watching.